Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Michael and today I want to show you a process I'm using to dial in very tight tolerances. I'm currently working on a project where I need to create a press fit for a needle bearing. This is just a wooden mock-up. The eventual part will be made out of aluminum, and I need to push this needle bearing into this part in a way that it's tight enough that the needle bearing will not turn in the housing, yet loose enough that I can press it in without deforming the needle bearing. If that would be a solid piece of metal, it would be a little bit easier. It wouldn't be that critical because you can apply a lot of force pushing it in, or you can hammer it in, but using a hammer for a needle bearing might be not the best idea because you might deform the housing for the needles or the cage, and then the needles won't move anymore, and that renders the whole idea of a needle bearing obsolete, of course. Okay, I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, let's assume you want to achieve a precise thickness of this feature indicated here by this green line. The standard process in Fusion, and I'm using Fusion and Pathpilot only as examples. The same is true for any hardware or software combination you might use. You create an initial tool path in Fusion. You send it to your mill. You mill it. You take the measurement here, and then you go back to your Fusion model. You change the tool path according to the difference between the measured thickness and the thickness you want to have eventually. And then you do the same thing, create a CNC file, send it to your machine. And sometimes that might take several steps. And it works, but it is not very efficient. So the process I'm using is a little bit different. The process is called cutter compensation, and what it means is the first step is the same. You create a tool path in Fusion, send it to your machine, and take the first pass. Then you take the measurement from here to here, and then you have a difference, but this difference now, you don't take that back to your machine and change the model. What you do is, in Pathpilot at the machine, you account for it by changing the tool's diameter with a value called wear. So you tell Pathpilot that your tool is worn out, it is smaller, and Pathpilot then adjusts the tool path and moves it towards the cutting edge. That means the control of the final tool path is not within Fusion. It is handed over to Pathpilot, which allows you to manage that at your machine without the need to run back and forth and creating new CNC files and so on. So what it means, Pathpilot moves the tool path towards the edge you want to achieve, but you're actually not cutting with the smaller tool. You're still using the original tool. That means your cut is deeper. And then you do that in an iterative way until you reach the final dimension here, and you're good. So this is true if you're cutting on one side, like an edge or whatever. If you do that in a hole or for a boss, it's a little bit different. The concept is the same. Let's assume your desired diameter here is diameter number 2, and the measured diameter is diameter number 1. And then the difference, because you're pretty much cutting on both sides, is exactly the wear value you told Pathpilot. That means diameter number 2 minus diameter number 1 is the wear value. For example, if you measure the difference here as 1/1000th of an inch, you would enter the wear value in Pathpilot as minus 0.001. That means your tool is 1,000 smaller than what you accounted for in Fusion. And the depth of cut, of course, is half of that, and much more efficient way, saves you the time running back and forth to your computer, creating new CNC files. Also, the Fusion model is not specific on one particular tool or one particular environment. You do that on the machine, the model is unchanged. Here is how you hand over the calculation of the final tool path from Fusion to the Pathpilot controller. You select the specific operation for which you want to do that. In our case, it's a 2D contour for the two press fits here. You go to the Passes tab, where you find compensation type. By default, compensation type is set to in computer. That means Fusion creates the final tool path. We select where, and now the Fusion tool path will be adjusted to the value you enter for where on the Pathpilot controller. If the value you enter at the Pathpilot controller is 0, nothing changes. The Fusion tool path equals the where tool path. But if you enter a value, for example, as minus 1,000th of an inch, the resulting hole will be 1,000th of an inch larger in diameter. Here's how you hand over the calculation of the final tool path from Fusion to Pathpilot. You go to the offset screen, you pick the tool. Let's say we take a 3/8 of an inch end mill here, and in the column dia where, you enter the desired value, let's say minus 1,000th of an inch. That means now the Fusion tool path will be adjusted by 1,000th of an inch. For example, a hole will be cut 1,000th of an inch larger in diameter than what your design in Fusion specified. And then you can, in an iterative process, you can play with this number every time you run this specific operation. For operations where you did not pick cutter compensation, where all these numbers are completely irrelevant. It does not matter what you enter under diameter or diameter where. Fusion and Pathpilot will take the values specified in Fusion. Only for operations for which you indicated compensation type is where are these numbers relevant. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful and I hope you enjoyed it. I will follow up with 2 videos about the design and the machining of the fixture for ER20 tool holders. And there I'm going to use the concept of cutter compensation to dial in the 2 press fits for the needle bearings. Hope to see you then. Thank you again.